I need you to understand something. There's a difference between being watched and being studied. Last winter, I learned that the woods behind my house aren't empty. They never were. Someone has been living out there, not an animal, not a camper, but a man, a stranger. And the worst part isn't that he knows my name. It's that he knows exactly where I live, because he's been inside my house more times than I can count. I live in northern Minnesota, quiet, isolated. The kind of place where you don't lock your doors because there's no one around. Or at least I thought so. It started in December. I began finding strange things outside my door in the morning. Nothing huge, just small signs that something wasn't right. At first, I thought it was kids or maybe the wind, but then it kept happening. And every item was placed perfectly centered on my welcome mat, like someone wanted me to see it. Someone who was standing inches from my door while I slept. I should have been scared, but I wasn't, not yet. That changed the night I heard footsteps in my backyard. It was 2:14, that I remember the exact time because I checked the clock. My heart pounding so hard it felt like it shook the room. The footsteps were slow, heavy, crunching the frozen ground with purpose. I turned off the lamp and peeked through the blinds. At first, I didn't see anything, just the tree line, the dark, the cold. But as my eyes adjusted, I saw him. A man, tall, thin, wearing a long coat that looked soaked and stiff with frost. And he was just standing there, facing my house, not moving, not blinking, just watching. I whispered to myself, "Who the hell are you?" And then something happened that still chills my blood. He tilted his head slowly, as if he heard me without speaking. I stepped back from the window, but he kept staring, like he already knew exactly where I was standing. The next morning, I found something new on my door. A photo. A picture of me, sleeping in my own bed. The angle was perfect, taken from inside my house. My hands went ice cold. Someone had been in my room, standing over me, watching me, taking pictures. I checked every window, every door, and I no signs of forced entry. But something told me he didn't need to break in. Over the next week, I saw him again and again, always in the same spot, always facing my house, always watching. Sometimes he'd be closer, sometimes farther. Once he stood so close I could see frost melting in his hair. But he never moved while I was looking, not once. Only when I blinked out, or turned my head or looked away for a second. Then he'd be gone, like he melted back into the forest. It happened 3 nights ago. I woke up at 3:09 a.m. to the sound of breathing. Not outside, not in the hallway. Breathing right next to my bed. Slow, wet, and uneven. My room was pitch black, but I could feel him, standing there, watching, studying me. I didn't move, that I didn't breathe. And then, he leaned close to my ear. I felt his cold lips brush my skin as he whispered, "You shouldn't watch me, if you don't want me to watch you." My blood froze, that I couldn't scream, that I couldn't run. I just lay there, shaking, listening to his footsteps fade toward my living room. Every window still sealed. Last night, I set up a camera in my hallway. Just one dot hidden high in the corner. When I checked the footage this morning, I saw him, walking out of my basement, slowly, calmly, like he'd been living there for days, maybe weeks. And when he looked directly into the camera, he smiled at a long, unnatural smile, like he'd been waiting for me to finally see him. Then he whispered, "See you tonight." I don't know who he is, that I don't know what he wants, but I know this. The stranger in the woods knows exactly where I live. He always has. And I think he's not alone anymore.